Hi beautiful people, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Ru. Now, what was it? Okay, I'm filming this on Halloween, but this might come out after Halloween, so just wanted to say that. Happy Halloween to anybody that celebrates, and Feliz Dia de Muertos or Feliz Dia de los Muertos for the people that also celebrate. Now, what we're doing today is we're going to see the potential of this connection on your the connection on your mind, the connection that you're thinking about, the connection that you're wondering about. What's the potential here? So we have 3 piles or 3 crystals for you to choose from. So for pile 1 or group 1 is this, I think this is carnelian. I'm not sure though. I hope it's focused. For pile 1. For pile 2, it's this star. I don't know what crystal this is either, but if you know, let me know. For pile 3, we have this crystal. It's a cube. Okay. So whichever you are more drawn to, that will be your reading. For the people that are wondering what decks I'm using in this video, this is for you. So we're using Animal Spirit. I hope it's focused. Animal Spirit. We're using Pocket Archetypes. We're using the Journey. And for tarot, we're going to be using, to be honest, I'm not sure yet. I might use different types of tarot, but for right now, I think I'm going to use the tarot for you and me. But if that changes, I'll let you know. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you can resonate with one of these. I'll see you in your reading. Hi pile 1, if you chose this carnelian heart, this reading is for you. So I'm gonna leave this part right here. Okay, so the way we are doing this is we're going to have a person A and person B format and the energy between you two. So the first one should be person A. So we have the gem and the vulture. And then for person B, we have the mask and the lizard. Oh, wow, okay. Already. Okay, this is cool. Okay. And the person, and the energy between you two is introspection. Okay, can we see that? Can you see that? Yes, you can. Let me move it a little bit. Okay. Okay, so the energy that I'm picking up on is very interesting because I love that this gem is very colorful, but then half of the mask is also very colorful. I think that's a very cool, like, I feel like it's significant. But let's get into it. I think I kind of want to start with person B. Let's start with person B. This mask lizard person. The movie Mask could be significant. The movie with Jim Carrey, which is very interesting because I am filming this on Halloween. But that movie could be significant. But this person B, is coming off very, like, they're almost there, if that makes sense. I think this person might take a while to open up to people. They might take a while to be vulnerable with people, but they're almost there to kind of be very open to this connection. I think they're almost there. And if you've been feeling that they're almost there, like if you've been feeling like maybe they're a little closed off, I think this is just for a little moment. in this connection, that they might be come off kind of closed off. This mask person is very like, I think they just want to be sure that they can open up to you or to person A. I think person B just wants to make sure that they can open up to person A. And I think it just takes them a while to get there, or it just, they might do weird, they might have weird moments that might make person A question their intentions, which is understandable, right? Like, if they're not showing you 100% of who they are, that's scary. But I think this person is just very skeptical to show you person A 100% of them, because they don't want to risk that yet. Like, they're not there yet, but I think they're getting there, which is very sweet. Because the lizard, right, I would say lizards are pretty slow moving animals. Some of them are pretty fast, right? But like, when they're scared, they run very fast. But like, there's usually very slow moving animals, in my opinion, unless I'm wrong, but I don't think so. I think lizards are pretty slow moving, so it makes sense that this person is very slow moving when it comes to this connection. I don't think they want to rush anything, and especially they do not want to be rushed. And this person B, this lizard person, or this masked lizard person, is very patient with themselves. And I think whenever they see somebody that's also patient with them, I think they get kind of, I guess, scared, I would say, but also kind of confused, because maybe they feel like they're too much, quote unquote too much, right? Like, I feel like maybe they feel like they're too much, but in reality they're just literally being a human. Like, they're just a person. And I think person A does this in a very magnificent way of expressing and seeing this masked lizard person as human. Like, I think this person A really sees the mask as a human, and I think the mask kind of gets confused in that energy, you know, that confusion leads to being scared, and that scared becomes like weird reactions, weird behavior sometimes, or like just confusing behavior. And I think this masked lizard person is very I feel like they get confused sometimes, but they also try very hard not to let that confusion or like that anxiety dictate how they want to go about this connection with the gem vulture person. And I think that's where they are when in this connection. I do want to read the lizard from the book, because I think it's going to be very interesting. I think is the lizard okay, so lizard is fire energy, so they could be a fire sign. This person B could be a fire sign, or you could be a fire sign, or those seasons could be significant. So that'll be Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. So those seasons could be significant. When I'm filming this, it's Scorpio season, and after Scorpio season, it's Sagittarius season, so that could be significant. But it doesn't, like, you know, it doesn't matter. I like saying the signs, but I also like saying the seasons, because those seasons could be significant, because every season has a new moon and a full moon. So I don't know, I just like saying that. Okay, so the lizard is a fire energy. So okay, I'm gonna read it. I hope it was focused this whole time. Okay. Instinctual, sensitive to the subtle, and dreamer. The lizard is an expert in the realm of sensory perception, as if it has a sixth sense. The lizard hears what is yet to be spoken and sees what is yet to manifest. Although this is an amazing gift, it can easily wear the lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain a lizard of their magical essence. This card is an indication to pull back from the bright lights and big city and return to the inner artist who's been whispering your name. When in balance, artistic, telepathic, spiritual. When out of balance, elusive, non-committal, flaky, to bring into balance a creative project. So that's very interesting. That's cute. So I feel like this person can come off pretty like mysterious, maybe. Like, of course, they can be an artist, right? They could be an artist, or they just love art. They could study art, they could be an artist, or they just love art and they just love doing it, right? Especially with this colorful, right? We'll get into the gem, but like this colorful energy, like to a certain extent, because of this gem being the same color as this part of the card, like this half of this card, it makes me wonder that if person A is like a muse to pile B's art. But I do feel like if this person makes music, this person A could be a muse, or if person B, this masked person, makes like art, like painting, drawings, or any types of art, I feel like person A could be somewhat of a muse to this person. And I think this person is just very sensitive. Person B is a very sensitive person. And I think they know that they're very sensitive. I think they know that they can get hurt in this connection, but I think they're still very open with this half and half, right? I think they overthink, but they don't want this to leave, you know? So like the way the lizard is facing this way, I feel like they still notice the gem. I think they still notice. I mean, of course it's a gem, right? Who doesn't notice a gem, right? But I think the lizard still notices the vulture and the gem. It's just sometimes I think they get too much in their head that I think they need space from this connection sometimes, because they get so anxiety driven that they need to kind of take time to kind of develop themselves again, if that makes sense. Or like they need time to breathe, because this connection could feel really good, but because it feels very good, sometimes it can bring some sort of anxiety or fear when it comes to the matters of the heart, right? So I think this person seems very just very sensitive, and I think if they've been pulling back, this mask and lizard person, if they've been pulling back from person A, or if this is you and you've been pulling back, I think person A can notice that. I think person A can notice that person B is pulling back, sort of. But I feel like if person B is the person that you're asking about, and you know that they're pulling back, I think it's just a process, right? It's just a process for this person to pull back. But I think I feel like they're coming around. In my opinion, I feel like they are coming around. Again, I could be wrong though, right? I could be totally wrong, but no, I feel like they are coming back eventually. It's just I think this person is like, they're coming around, right? Like maybe they haven't been talking to person A as much as they used to, or they haven't been like texting or calling or hanging out with person A as much, because it could be as easily as like they've been busy, right? Maybe they've been doing a lot of art and stuff, but I feel like this person is going to come around and be open to this connection. I wanted to say again, because I feel like for some of you this could be some sort of separation, but for a lot of you it could just be like you sometimes talk to this person, but it's not always. So it's not as consistent. This connection is not as consistent, or person B is not as consistent as they used to be, or maybe they've never been consistent, but then maybe that confuses person A. Like, why aren't they consistent with me? I thought we were like vibing very well, you know? But let's get into person A, the gem and vulture person. This gem, they are a gem. This person A is a gem, and I think they know this, right? With the vulture here, I think this gem vulture person A is very sure of themselves and sure that they do want to connect with person B. I think they do want to connect with person B. I think they want to pursue this connection with person B. And I think person A, or this gem vulture person, doesn't want to chase the lizard person. Like, the vulture does not want to chase the lizard, and I think they know this, and that could be a reason why person B is kind of confused in the situation too, because maybe person B is used to being chased. And I think person A is like, I'm not going to chase you. Like, I thought that we were doing this together. I thought we were pursuing this connection together. But if you are running away from me, or if you're not putting as much energy as I am, I'm more than willing to walk away or to fly away, right? And I think person A is very much in that energy. Yeah, it could hurt, right? Like, it could hurt, but I think they know that they're a gem. They know that they're important. They know that they're special. And because of that, I think person A is very willing to let this go if that is what is needed, if it needs to happen that way. Even though it might hurt, even though it might like hurt or make person A feel a type of way, I think they know that they love themselves more. They care about themselves more. They care about their being more. And if they do not feel wanted somewhere, they're just gonna walk away. You know, they're not afraid to walk away. And I think person A is very much in that energy of like, I'm not afraid to walk away. If I have to walk away, I will walk away. I'm a gem, and I'm willing to just let this be if that's what person B wants. Because I think person A is very sure of themselves, that they're not afraid to tell person B like, hey, I want to pursue this connection with you. I like you. I want this to work out. Like, I think the gem person could come off very, very honest, and not honest in like a rude or weird, like a rude way, but more like a whoa, like honesty, like whoa, I wasn't expect, like I feel like person B can be very shocked of how honest person A can be. You know, I think person A just doesn't like playing games with people in general, like their relationships in life. I don't think they like playing mind games. I think they just want people to know how they feel. They want to know how how the relationship is going. Like, for example, like I think person A is the type of person that if they have a friend or somebody that they have a relationship with, and that person is mad at person A, they're not afraid to do like confront the situation. They're not afraid to confront their friend. They're not afraid to confront whoever to try to fix what's going on. I think person A is very strict in that. Like, I think person A really cares about their relationships, and I think if anything bad happens between them and somebody else, they try to fix that. And I think because person A is like that, they don't play games, but not because they don't want to. It's more like because they don't have it in them to play games. Like, they just don't know how to play games, so they don't, right? Like, I think person A could come off very like too sure about themselves. You know, I feel like people might get scared of how sure they are about themselves. It's just, I think person A just knows what they want. They know how not to play games in relationships. They don't want to play games in relationships. They don't want to do mind games. And because of that, that could scare people, because I feel like people, maybe the people that the person A attracts always plays games, or always like does these like little mind games that person A never does. That could be like texting, where like, for example, when you're texting person A, like if they see the text, they text you right back, right? But and some people play mind games in a way that's like, well, I'm not like, they didn't text me in 30 minutes, I'm not going to text back until an hour, right? And person A does not do that. Like, they don't want to do that. Like, that is not something in them to do that. And so they don't do that. And I think because of that, person B could be kind of scared of person A in that way, that person A just comes off very sure about themselves. And I think person B still struggles in that department sometimes. I do want to read the vulture. I think this is air energy. So air signs could be significant, or the air seasons could be significant. So that will be Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini, by the way. Okay. Let's read. Vulture, guardian and purifier, essential for rebalance. The vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. Yeah. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. When in balance, clarifies, reveals wisdom. When out of balance, dramatic, aggressive, to bring into balance. Clean your space. Sage. So I think this person, this vulture, this gem vulture person, I think they, like I said, I think they know that they're important. They know that they matter in life. I think they know that they are important to this relationship, this connection, but they're also important in general. They're an important person. And I think they're so sure of themselves that could scare a person be. I also feel like this vulture person is very much like how I said, misunderstood. I do feel like they could feel misunderstood, or people just misunderstand them all the time. So they probably have to repeat themselves, like literally and metaphorically. Like they might feel misunderstood, or people might see them as like not, like, I don't know. I feel like I feel like it's the honesty, sort of. Like, I think them being very honest in general could kind of come off like new to some people. Like, sometimes being honest is something new to some people, and I feel like this person is not afraid to be honest. And I just feel like that's how they could be perceived, and they could be perceived rude, or they could be perceived for being too honest. But I think that is just who they are at their core, because I don't think they lie. I don't think they try to play games with people. I don't think they try to manipulate situations. They literally just want to do it and say how it is, and that's it. And where, like, you know what I mean? Okay, let's get into the energy between you two. So, introspection. I feel like the energy between you two is very interesting, because for some of you, I do feel like you are connected to this person. It just might not be as consistent, or you are not even talking to this person at all. But I wouldn't be surprised if you two are getting together in your dreams. Or like you see each other in your dreams, daydreams as well, but dreams is specifically when you sleep. I feel like dreaming of each other could be very significant. Oh, you know what song is coming up? Dreaming of You by Selena. Let me write it down, because I will forget if I don't write it down. Dreaming of You by Selena. What is this? Pile 1? Pile 1. Dreaming of You. And I feel like the connection between you two is very like out of this world, sort of, but so out of this world that it makes you look inwards, right? Like, it makes you look inwards. It makes you look like, okay, is there something I have to change? Is there something that I have to do? I think this connection is very much making both of you look within without even realizing it. Like, person B could be looking within, like, oh, maybe I shouldn't run away from this, or like maybe I shouldn't create distance, you know, like, why am I doing it? Like, they're like, this connection is making y'all ask the why questions, you know. Like, maybe person A is very much like, why am I so honest? Like, why am I so strict when it comes to relationships? Like, why do I not, like, maybe I feel like person A could also come, like, maybe they don't know how to go with the flow a lot of the times. Like, it's very hard for them to go with the flow. Like, they want to make sure that everything is going according to plan. And I feel like that, like, this connection is making both of you like question the why of yourself, if that makes sense. Like maybe person A is questioning, like, why am I so strict when it comes to relationships, or why does it have to be this certain way, or like why is the outcome, like why, you know, having so many expectations, like why do I have so many expectations? And then person B could be like, okay, why do I run away when something feels good, or like why do I run away, or why do I create distance when I feel really good in connection, or why do I hide myself from people, from new people, or just people in general? Why can't I be vulnerable, right? And I think this connection is making both of you asking these why questions to understand yourself more. And I think if you are talking to this person, for some of you, I don't think you are, but for a lot of you, I don't think you are as much. And if you are, it's not consistent. I feel like this is it, like if you and this person have space, like you both are creating space, I think that space is very important right now, because I think you're both kind of looking within, and I think this connection, this relationship is making both of you look within in a very positive way to grow as a person, you know. And I think I love that we're gonna ask what's the potential of this connection, because I feel like sometimes you meet people and you learn something from them, or like they're here for a good time, not a long time type of energy. And I do wonder if this is this type of relationship. I'm not sure, we'll get into it eventually, but they're here for a good time, not a long time. But I do feel like right now, like as we speak right now, as you're watching this, I feel like right now the space between you two, or the distance between you two, is very important. And so I think it's so you can both breathe within your own life, if that makes sense. Like I think this space is good for both of you to just kind of take a deep breath and really understand where your behavior is coming from, or where these patterns that you're creating is coming from, right? Like asking the why questions. And I think that's a good way to, that's a good thing when it comes to connecting with people, you know. And I feel like you both are doing that without even realizing it. I feel like for some of you, you don't even know that you're doing it, but you are. And I think this person's, like person B and person A, I think they're both, these two people, you and this person, is like you're both realizing that you are questioning your behavior. You're questioning why you act the way you act in relationship and connection and in day-to-day situations, you know. Like, why did I react that way? Like, why did I say this? Like, why did I do that? Like, why did I do that, you know? Or like, why do I believe that? Why do, you know? You're just questioning a lot of things. And I think questioning yourself is never bad, because that's, you learn about yourself, and you should always want to learn about your own self, you know. Learn about yourself and enjoy learning about yourself, even if that's scary. Even if your shadow self is very scary to learn about, it's important to learn about your shadow self, or the negative aspects of yourself, because if you don't learn about that, the good aspects of yourself, or the pretty aspects of yourself, are not going to matter if you don't know anything about your negative side. So I think understanding like your negative behaviors, or the behaviors that are not as great, in your opinion, could benefit you as a person, and could benefit this person as well. So yeah, so let's get into tarot. Let's use this one. Oy. So let's get into tarot about what's the potential of this connection. What's the potential? If you're interested in a personal reading, I do personals on Instagram. I also do pick a cards over there too, like pick a pile or pick a group. So if you're interested in that, that will be in the description down below. But if you want a personal reading, I also do that on Instagram or email, whichever is better for you if you're interested. I mean, I'm still, you don't have to. I'm just happy that you're here and you're watching. So thank you for watching. Okay, let's get into it. What's the potential of this? Okay, wait, I didn't like that shuffle. What's the potential of this connection? There we go. Okay. Aye. Okay. Whatever. I'll keep it that way. Okay. Okay. What's the... Sorry. I keep repeating it, but it's... The shuffling was hard. Okay. What's the potential of this connection? What's the potential of this connection? We have the 10 of... So we have the 8 of Cups. We have the 10 of Lanterns. That's the 10 of Wands. Okay. One fell. I'll get in a minute. Let's just keep shuffling. And we have the Child of Lanterns. This is the page of... the page of... Wands, I think. Right? Yeah. With the Page of Wands. And then we have the 10 of... The 10 of Flags. The Flags is Swords. And then we have the Child of Lanterns. That's the Page of Wands, I think. Is Child Page of Wands? Is that Page? Child is Page, right? I think so. Okay, sorry. Because I was already... Wait, let me make sure that Child is Page. Because I don't want to say something if I'm saying it wrong. Oh, wait, let me... Sorry, I'm taking a while because I just want to make sure. Yeah, okay, sorry if I took too long. Okay. So we have the 8 of Cups, the 10 of Wands, the 10 of Swords, and the Page of Wands. Okay, let's get into it. What is the potential of this connection? Now, you know what's so funny? What I was thinking before. I don't think I said it in the video, but what's so funny? I was like, oh, I'm gonna use this deck because it's so positive and I love it. And then I swear you got all... I mean, no card is negative, right? But you got 3 cards that I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay, I spoke too soon, right? I spoke too soon about saying, oh, this is such a positive deck. I'm not saying that this reading is going to be negative. All I'm saying is that it's just so... Okay, you know, like I spoke too soon. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, what's the potential of this connection? This is very interesting because... this is very much your choice and this person's choice. I feel potential is such an interesting word, right? Because potential is literally the potential of something, right? But it all depends on the situation and the people around or how the situation is being played out, right? So I think this is very much your choice and this person's choice of the potential of this connection, because with this Page of Wands, there is this energy here that maybe after the storm there's a rainbow. Like what's that saying? Like after rain there's a rainbow. Like after the storm there's a rainbow, or something like that, right? And I feel like right now, if you've been feeling this like heavy energy when it comes to this connection, there's potential when it comes to having like a new beginning with this person. I wouldn't be surprised if that could be a possibility, right? but sometimes the negative emotions sometimes outweigh the positive emotions in the situation. So I think for some of you, this could literally be like it, if that makes sense. Like, this could literally be you walking away and you're like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm walking on eggshells with this person anymore. Like, I'm happy that I learned so much from this connection, but I think it's better for us to just walk away from each other for now. This is too much for me, and that's okay. And that person, and person B or person A, could feel this way, right? But I think there's always going to be potential for this, you and this person, to, I guess, fix this connection and start with a new beginning. I think there is potential for that. However, there's also potential of somebody walking away, or both of you just kind of walking your own separate ways right now, right? Or in general, because I think this connection has been very, very heavy. This connection has been very heavy. This connection has been very just heavy in general. And I think it's been heavy for both of you, right? And for some of you, this could be like a whole relationship, you know? And I hope it's focused. Is it focused? Please be focused. And I think this connection has been very, like, heavy for both of you. And I want to say heavy because maybe you've been together for a while now, and I think that, like, going through ups and downs with this person is just always happening, you know? Like, it's a relationship, you know, ups and downs are normal in relationships. But I feel like right now maybe the downs are outweighing the ups in this relationship. And I think that's why you and this person are questioning if you should separate or come together again. Even though for some of you, you could be separated from this person right now, like, or there's not a lot of consistency between you two. But I do feel like there's going to be an option or a choice to be made eventually. And I think that's where you and this person come together and ask each other if this is still going to work, this relationship is still going to work. Because I think it's just been a lot. It's been a lot between you two recently, and I think that's very difficult. And it's so interesting because I feel like the potential of this connection is either walking away or creating a new beginning, because I think the energy that you both have is very heavy, and you both don't know if there's a way to coming back from this. Whatever happened between you two, that is something you two only know. I don't need to know, right? But I think it's just the energy so heavy between you two that I think the only potential here is to either literally walk away and just heal, or heal and start a new beginning. But that is something that I think you both are going to choose together. That is something that you both are going to choose to do, whatever y'all choose to do. And I think you should both honor that, you know, whatever the choice is in the situation between you two. And if it's been very heavy, like, I do feel for you, you know. I hope everything works out the way it should, or I hope it works out in a healthy way, you know, because you deserve healthy relationships, you deserve healthy situations, you know. But yeah, I do feel like there's two outcomes here that you both are going to have to choose which one you want to pursue. So yeah, I think that's the potential here. So yeah, okay. Before we leave, before I end this, I do want to give you some advice. So let's use the wisdom of the oracle. get some advice for you for pile 1. Thank you. And at the bottom, we have Better Worlds, number 3. And then we have number 5, Orphaned. Like, I know it might feel like... I feel like you've been feeling very, very down lately, or very sad and very just maybe confused, or just, I heard broken. Like, you might be feeling very broken. I just want, yeah, like Between Worlds, and then Blessed 22. I feel like this is just... it's not going to be forever. And I know that, like, you don't want to hear that right now, but it's like, it's not going to be forever, and I promise, you know? Like, maybe there's some moments that you feel very, like, happy and just very, especially in this relationship, like, you might feel very happy, but then there's also moments that you're like, okay, this is a lot to deal with right now. I don't know if I have the energy to deal with this right now. This is a lot, this is very heavy, but then there's also very... you know, there's a lot of ups and downs, and I think you're very much feeling those ups and downs. And I think a lot of it is you're very sensitive to that energy, because, to be honest, I mean, anybody could be sensitive, right? I don't know if I can answer the because, but I mean, like, you are just very sensitive to the energy right now. I feel like you're very sensitive to energy in general. And I think right now you're hypersensitive to a lot of things around you, because I think this relationship is making a huge impact on you. And I think reminding yourself that, yeah, this is a lot to deal with, this is a lot to feel, this is a lot, but remind yourself that that is just being part human, that is you being a human being, that's you being a person when you feel that deeply. And that is one thing that is one of your purposes, right? As human, I think, for me at least, what I think one of our purposes in this lifetime is to feel and to love and to care. I think that's our purpose, right? And I think you are doing your purpose. You know, you are being a human, you are being a person, and that's okay. Don't shame yourself for what's going on. You know, you might not feel in control right now, but I promise you, with time, you will remember yourself in this moment, and you're going to be happy that happened, or you're going to be happy that you felt these feelings and these emotions, because I think you're going to learn from them, and you're going to learn from yourself. And I think that's a very beautiful thing to do in this lifetime. So yeah, I hope that resonated. Thank you so much for watching. If you want a private reading from me, you can always DM me or send me an email, whatever you will feel more comfortable doing. You don't have to, though. I'm just happy that you're here and that you watched the whole thing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next. Hopefully. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. If you chose this star crystal, this reading is for you. Now, so before we get into tarot, I do want to figure out who... we're going to do a person A and person B format, and the energy between you two. Yeah, let me explain it that way. Okay, so for person A, we have the Pilgrim and the Dragon. And then for person B, we have the Lover. Oh, wow. This card is so cute. And the Scorpion. Ooh, okay. And then the energy between you two, we have Difficulties. Okay. Let me move the star a little bit. Can we see that? Yes, we can. Okay. So, for person A is this Pilgrim Dragon person, and person B is this Lover Scorpion. And then this is the energy between you two. Okay, Pile 2. How are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? Thank you so much for watching, by the way. Okay, I kind of want to start with person, who should we start with? Let's start with person A. Okay, this pilgrim and dragon person. Now, this pilgrim and dragon person could come off pretty, let's say, like, how do I say this? Like, they could come off pretty, like, always moving. Like, they're always doing something. I think this dragon pilgrim person, they don't know how to stay still, if that makes sense. I think this person is always trying to do something, you know, maybe trying to do something new every single time they can, or if they work a lot, like maybe every single time they work, like they could just be working a lot, or like they focus on a lot of things at once. And I think it could be very difficult to maintain connection, or to maintain connections in general in their life sometimes, especially now. I feel like maybe in this time of their life is very, like, how do I say, like, it's very focused on the outer world of themselves more than inward. I think this person is always trying to do something new every single day, every single hour. Like, they are very focused on stimulating their own brain, stimulating their own mind, always trying to find something to do. That could either be at work, that could be like maybe they pick up more hours, or that could literally be something that they enjoy doing, like if they do art, or if they they love learning, or, you know, like maybe they recently got a class, right? Like maybe recently they went to a class that they're interested about, just because they're interested in going, like they just love learning, right? I do see this dragon and pilgrim person as somebody that just loves learning. They could be very much like a student. They could be a student as well, right? Like they could go to school right now. Like they could you know, maybe you met this person at school. They could be a student of some kind, like maybe like in college, university. Maybe they're getting their masters or doctorates. You know, this person could be very studious, right? This person can be very studious and just very, like, always trying to stimulate their brain somehow. This person could be a very good student as well. I think they just always trying to stimulate their brain. They're always trying to learn new things. And this person, this dragon person, is always on the go, because I think they're always wanting to learn new things in life. I think they're always trying. I feel like they actually love getting to know new people. They love getting to know new culture, new adventures, and everything. This person could travel as well, or like they love traveling, or they like the thought of traveling, right? Because in this economy, girl. But maybe they do travel a lot, and I feel like they just love getting to know new people and understand new cultures and understand new languages. This person could know more than one language as well. They could be bilingual, trilingual, or more than that. This person is also very, like, knowledgeable of almost everything. I think you can talk to this person about anything and everything, and they will have something to talk about. Like, you can literally be talking about cats with this person, and they will find a way to share their knowledge about cats. You know, like, they might know a lot of knowledge about everything. And I think that's why this person is so, like, intelligent in that way, because I think they're always wanting to learn a lot of information in life. You know, they love learning and they love experiencing, and experiencing is a part of learning, right? To learn something, you sometimes have to gain experience in those situations, right? So let's read the dragon person. So the dragon spirit, so that could literally be any sign, or any season, right? Any season, any sign could be significant. So for the dragon person, okay, the dragon person, okay, so it says, seeing one's most true self, balancing the ego. The dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate external world as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, girl, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It is almost as if we are traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. When we look in the mirror, deep into our eyes, we may even glimpse the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. This is the power of the dragon, breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies, witnessing this omnipotent energy, even for a brief moment, help us surrender and let go. We let the dragon guide us. We hop on its back for a ride, and as we traverse even the most difficult terrain, the dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere. It is said that if a yogi does not see beauty in the world, their angi is dim. Angi is described as inner fire, sacred intelligence. May even just the mention of the dragon stir the embers of intelligence within you. Yeah, intelligence. Yeah, so if you want to read that, you can. If you want to read it, yeah, okay. So yeah, I think this dragon is just a very wise person. I think they're very like always looking for the next big thing, always looking for the next big challenge as well. I feel like they're always open for a challenge. Okay, let's get into person B. So for person B, we have the Lover. Look at this card, is so pretty. I love this card. We have the Lover and the Scorpion. Now this person could be a Scorpio. I know this is fire energy, but I always see them as Scorpio. So they could be a Scorpio, or they could be a fire sign. Person B could be a fire sign, or these fire seasons could be significant. So Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius energy. But this Lover and Scorpion person, this person is a very vulnerable person, like very vulnerable. I feel like they don't even notice how vulnerable they are sometimes, or like they do notice it, but they just forget how vulnerable they are. Like I think this person tries very hard not to connect with others, but they just can't help it. I feel like they just love connecting with others, and they love creating relationships. They love being in a relationship as well. This Scorpion Lover person, I think they love love, even if even though they might not want to admit it. Person B loves love, and I think they love being in relationships. They love being with people. They love being in connection with people, especially romantic. But I think they just love people so much, even if they might not want to admit it. They love being around people. They love hanging out with people. They're a very social person, and I think they're like they could come off very social butterfly, or if they're not a social butterfly, when they do talk to new people, they're not afraid to open that conversation up or to start a conversation. I think they're always open to that energy. And with this Lover energy and the Scorpion energy, I think they try to be skeptical. I think this person tries to be skeptical in connection, but I think their vulnerability gets the best of them, and they try, and it's not, they can't help it. They can't help but to connect with people. They can't help but to fall in love with people. Like they can't help it. I feel like they fall in love very easily, right? I think they fall in love and they start liking people very easily, even though I feel like deep down they don't want to be that way, but they are. Maybe this person is the type of person that creates crushes so fast. Like they see somebody or they meet somebody, like, oh my god, and they like create this crush like right away, because they just love people. Like they just love and just because I say like they love being in relationships doesn't mean like they are in one, or that they are all like they're always in a relationship. All I'm saying is like I think they just love connecting with new people. They love connecting with people. They love getting to know people, and I think that's where you both are you both can connect as well. Like person A and person B can connect in that way, that you both are just always open to getting to know new people. And I think that's the very beautiful thing about person B, especially because I think the person B wears their heart on their sleeve without even, like, I feel like that's not even their intention, but it happens. It just happens, and they just can't help it sometimes. They can't help that they love, or they can't help that they care. They can't help that they cry over sad like they can't help but to cry in happy moments and movies about love. You know, like they're always rooting for love in everything that they do. And I think they exist in love. They are love, right? It's just, I think the aspect of being vulnerable gets the best of them, because I don't think their intention is to wear their heart on their sleeve, but it just happens, right? I kind of want to, let's read Scorpion. So this is fire energy. Again, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries. So for Scorpion, we have passionate, competitive, tends toward isolation. The Scorpion is a passionate and determined creature. Their career is very important to them, as are a few select friends. Sometimes the Scorpion heat festers, and then they focus on an unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they were left feeling burned. The Scorpion card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usual fiery but fun self. When in balance, wild and free, fierce. When out of balance, jealous, resentful, unresolved. To bring into balance, honesty and forgiveness. Oh, Scorpion. Again, like I do feel like this person is very passionate, like super passionate. And I feel like person B has been hurt in the past, you know, and I think even though they've been hurt in the past in connection or in general, I feel like they still know how to love people. They still know how to care for people, and they still want to connect with people. I think person B is a very sweet person in a way that's like, even though they've been hurt, they know that they ultimately always want to connect with somebody, always wants to connect with people in general, right? So even though they've been hurt, there's always a part of them that will always thrive in connection with people, or there's always going to be a part of them that will always want to connect with people, because I think that like person B is the type of person that will follow their heart all the time, right? And I think maybe following their heart, because if you don't balance your heart with your mind or with your brain, that could be very not as healthy as it could be. Of course, I'm always like, follow your heart, right? But sometimes your mind matters so much in your decisions, right? Because sometimes logic does matter in decision making, or wanting to stay in a situation, right? So I think this person is still in this moment of trying to balance their heart with their mind, right? In a very healthy way, because your mind and brain should work together. You know, they're not enemies, they're lovers, right? Like your mind and heart should never be enemies, right? So I think person B is still in that process of trying to balance both of them out, because I think this person B is always listening to their heart, which is beautiful. I think anyone that can listen to their heart is somebody so magnificent. However, I think they know that they have to try to listen to their brain sometimes. Not all the time, because sometimes brain can be very anxiety driven. They can be very controlling driven, right? Like they control everything sometimes. So I think trying to have that good balance is something that person B is trying to create in their life right now. And even though they're very passionate, I think they're also deep down very sensitive, right? I think they're very sensitive to people in general, people specifically, because I think this person loves being around people, even if they might not admit it. I think person B would not want to admit how much they love people and how much they love being around people, or in connection with people. So yeah, okay, so the energy between you two, difficulties. This is very interesting. Difficulties. difficulties, I'm kind of confused on why this one's here. Okay, I did tell myself if I get confused or if I feel like I should get another card, I will. So let's get it from Astro, Star Codes Astro, for the energy between you two. Because difficulties, like right now, what I'm feeling with the card difficulties is just, it could be like both of you aren't connecting as much as you want to connect. I feel like with difficulties, it could be very much like maybe person B really wants to connect with person A, but person A is somewhere else, you know, physically, right? This could also be like maybe the difficulty could also be long distance. For some of you could be long distance, or this person just travels a lot, maybe for work or for anything. They travel a lot, or they're just not there all the time because of whatever reason. And I think that could be one of the difficulties here, that it's very hard to connect with each other. It's very hard to connect with each other, and I think that's what's very difficult here, because I think you both, for some of you, I feel like you feel very lonely, even though you are with this person and you connect with this person, you know? Like, I feel like you or this person, or both of you, feel very lonely in this connection, and it could be because you're not physically there with each other sometimes. Like, again, it could be long distance, right? You could feel physically lonely, and I think that's difficult, right? It's one of the difficulties in this connection. Okay, the energy between you two. Okay. Thank you. Discomfort, yeah, okay. And then 7th house, relationship, yeah. So I think I'm right. It's just confirmation. So I feel like number 14, by the way. I feel like, let me just fix it. Yeah, okay. And with discomfort here, I feel like it's this connection between person A and person B is just difficult to maintain sometimes, I feel. And again, for a lot of you, I feel like this is long distance. For a lot of you, this is something that you can't control, and that could be distance. That could be because person A works a lot, or they do a lot of things, right? They work a lot, or they focus on a lot of things that it's very hard for them to focus on person B sometimes. And person B, even though they want to connect with person A, I think person B could understand where they're coming from, right? So I think this connection is very, like, the energy between you two is just very, like I said, with a lot of discomfort, because I think you both really care for each other and you both want this to work out. I think you both really want to be together. It's just outside forces is what's making this very difficult to do. And I think that is just like a big part of why there's so many difficulties here. Because I feel like for a lot of you, like, this isn't like emotionally driven. I think the energy between you two is actually like outside forces. It's like out of your control forces, that this isn't that this is hard to maintain sometimes. Like, this connection could be hard to maintain sometimes because of outside situations that you both can't control. So I don't think it's anything that you both are actively doing without even realizing it. It's more like, or emotions or feelings, it's literally outside forces, and that you can't control, like things that you literally can't control because for whatever reason. And I think that is just something that, you know what, let's get into the potential. I mean, I feel like that's a good way to talk about the potential about this connection, because even though it's sort of difficult to maintain right now, what's the potential of this connection? Let's see what the potential of this connection is. Because a lot of this is outside of your control, and outside of this person's control too. So what's the potential of this connection? Oh, the sun. That's so cute. I love the sun card. What's the potential of this connection? What's the potential of this connection? The full girl. That's so freaking cute. Okay. Five of Lanterns, yeah. And the Wise One. I think this is the Hermit. Okay. And at the bottom we have Judgment. Judgment. So, yeah. I think the potential here is very, very positive, and I think there's a lot of potential here to make this work. I think sometimes it could be very difficult for both of you to maintain this connection between you two. It's sometimes very hard it could be very difficult to communicate sometimes, or it could be very difficult to connect with each other. But I think there's light at the end of the tunnel, right? Like there's light at the end of the tunnel. And I think because of that, knowing that, and I think you both understand that too. I think you both understand that there is light at the end of the tunnel. You know that this might just be part of the process to get there. Because yeah, maybe there's moments that you both are like not seeing eye to eye, or it's just very difficult to really try to fix what's happening, or try to fix, because I feel like there's not a lot of I don't think there's a lot of things that you have to fix, right? It's just out of your control. And like knowing that information, knowing that it's out of your control, I think you can kind of stay in this calming energy, because you can't control what other people do. You can't control other situations. You can't control the outside world, right? You can't control that. But what you can control is yourself, and you can't control how you feel about things or how you react to things, right? Maybe not feel, but how you react to things, right? Or like how your feelings, your emotions can make you react or express yourself, right? You can control that. You can have self-control in that. And I think knowing that could bring more happiness and a little bit more positivity into this connection. Knowing that you both can't control what's happening. You both can't control the connection. You can just control yourself and the way you react and express yourself when it comes to like difficult emotions, especially. And I think knowing that, even though it might be difficult with this Five of Lanterns, even though it might be difficult sometimes, the Five of Lanterns is the Five of Wands, by the way, but just because sometimes it is difficult to, like, maybe sometimes you get very hot-headed, or this person gets very hot-headed, and I feel like sometimes when tension creates between you two, I think part of that tension is like part of that intention, like that tension between you two could be the reason why there's so much tension sometimes is because things that you can't control, you know, like maybe you can start a fight with this person, or this person starts a fight with you, but in reality, like the root of that feeling of being irritated, or the need to start a fight, could all be rooted into things that you can't control, right? I hope I made sense in that. So yeah, I feel like knowing that you can control yourself, you can control how you react and express yourself, could go a long way to make this connection be very positive, because the potential of this connection is very positive, and it could be very long lasting. It's just, I think you both have to shift your energy into, okay, I can't control what's outside of this. I can't control the distance. I can't control this. I can't control that. But I can control the way I react. I can control the way I express myself. I can control this. I can't control that. Like, learn what you can control and what you can't control. And if the things that you can't control, let them go. Or don't let them bring you so much pain, or don't let them bring you so much stress. Because at the end of the day, you can't control that, right? Something that you can't control, you should never bring you stress, because knowing that you can't control it can help you understand that, okay, maybe I should just let this be. Let it be. And that's it. And doing that makes it, like, letting things be helps you understand that, okay, I can't control that. You know, I can't control that, but that's okay. But I can't control this, right? So I think knowing that and moving forward with that could help this connection out, because this connection is actually very sweet and seems very committed. I think you both could be very committed to each other, emotionally and physically and all the above of commitment, right? It's just, I think sometimes it takes time to get there to be very comfortable. And this could, one of the reasons why you both are not as comfortable, I feel, is because of the things that you can't control, like distance or money, or I don't know, just things like that that you just can't control, you know? So yeah, let's get some advice for you. I'm using the Wisdom of the Oracle, by the way, for the people that are interested, because I forgot to show it in the intro. But let's get into some advice for you. Sorry, there was a cutoff. So you got number 42 at the bottom of the deck, and then we have number 45 that came out. So I feel like sometimes you just have to let go. You know, sometimes it's okay to let go and just see where this goes. You don't have to control the connection, just control yourself. You know what I mean? And if that means, okay, let me take some time to do a me day, you know, whatever that means to you, do that. You know, sometimes it's okay to focus on yourself sometimes, you know, especially if this connection has been a long-term connection. You know, sometimes it's okay to focus on yourself, and it's beneficial for yourself and for this connection when you focus on yourself and when you think about yourself too. So yeah, just take time, take your time, and don't rush anything. Don't rush yourself. And it's okay to communicate. You know, communicate your needs, communicate your wants, and listen to this person too about what they want and what they need in this connection too. So yeah, I hope this resonated. Thank you so much for watching. If you want a prior reading for me, you can always DM me on Instagram or email me. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next, hopefully. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose this cube, this reading is for you. So, before we get into tarot, I do want to see, I'm doing a person A, person B format, and the energy between you guys. So, let's get into it. So, for person A, we have the nectar and the owl. Wow. Okay. For person B, we have the vow and the zebra. Wow. Okay. I love how colors connect in these readings. And then the energy between you guys is sacred space. Is that all on the frame? Oh, it wasn't focused, but now it is, so it's fine. Okay. Okay, let's get into it. So person A would be this nectar owl person, and person B will be this vow zebra. Okay, So I kind of want to start with person A. So this person owl nectar person, they come off very wise, but also they notice everything. I think person A notices everything. Like nothing can get past them. I wouldn't be surprised if person A is the type of person that can just, they can tell when someone's lying, or they can tell when someone is like not being as honest as they are. You know, I feel like person A can kind of like clock that someone's lying, or clock that someone's not telling 100% of the truth. And I feel like they don't even try to do this, it just kind of happens. It's like if they're talking to somebody, I wouldn't be surprised if they can kind of clock if they're like lying, or they might be stretching the truth or something like that. And I feel like person A is very much in that there's this type of person that they are. And I feel like they are very sensitive too with this nectar energy here. I feel like they're very sensitive in a way, like I think they're very sensitive to nature. They're very sensitive to nature specifically. Like I'm seeing, like, this is so weird, but I'm seeing poison ivy. Like I'm seeing poison ivy. So I don't know if maybe person A has like been affected by poison ivy, but I'm seeing like poison ivy, or like I'm seeing like plants being very, very sensitive to person A. Like person A could just be very sensitive to plants, or could be very sensitive to like their skin reacts, like their skins could be very sensitive to plants or something like that. I feel like they're just very sensitive inward and outward. Like maybe their skin is very sensitive too. And I feel like the owl also, like this nectar owl person is like, I feel like another, okay, wait, a lot of things are coming up, but one thing that I want to say is like this owl person, this nectar owl person could express themselves very colorfully. Like maybe when they their clothes that they wear, it's very colorful, because I'm seeing like this pink and orange, like even like the color that they use, or like that they wear, could be very colorful. Like they could be a very naturally colorful person. These colors is reminding me of the dress from Wicked, from Glinda, that I think it was like this fish dress, right? Like it was that dress that she wore to, was it like a party or something, like in Wicked part 1. But it's like reminding me of that dress. And I think this person is just, I mean, person A could relate to Glinda. Like person A could like see themselves in Glinda, sort of. And I feel like, but the only thing about person A though, I don't think person A tries to be liked by everybody. No offense to Glinda, but it's like I don't think person A wants to be liked by everybody. It's like that's not their desire. But I do feel like they are very sensitive to energy and very sensitive to a lot of things, especially nature. I don't know why nature is coming up, especially with this nectar. I feel like nature is just very, like, it's very sensitive to for person A. Yeah, because like you see the hand and the way it's like almost touching like the flower. It's like I think they are just very sensitive. And I feel like the owl person very much notices the zebra. And it's so interesting because the zebra and the owl are like looking forward. They're not looking at each other or anything. They're looking forward. And I feel like a part of me feels like both of these people are trying not to show that they're like interested in each other, or like that they notice each other, right? Okay, but I do want to read the the owl's air energy. So that's Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Those signs could be significant, or those seasons could be significant. So that's air energy. Shall we read owl? If I can find it. Okay, yeah. Okay. So it says abundance, clairvoyant, yeah, treasures. It's the owl is a mysterious and otherworldly creature found in folklore from east to west. The white owl in this particular deck is a companion of the goddess Lakshmi and represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. When the owl card appears, it's an omen that a boon or treasure is on the way, either in a spiritual or material form. With owl wisdom on our side, you'll see and know exactly what to do with this boon, how it can further serve your dharma and bring abundance to the world. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. When in balance, generous, trusting, secure. When out of balance, money, quarrels, scarcity to bring into balance. An offering. Oh wow, okay. This is very interesting. Yeah, okay, 100%. I do feel like person A is pretty psychic, like it says clairvoyant. And this is very interesting because I'm reading this book called what's it called? I forgot what it's called, but wait, it's like right here. Let me get it. I'm reading this book called The House of the Spirits by Isabel Allende. It's originally in Spanish, but it's translated in English, and I'm reading the English version. And there's this character in the book named Clara, and then she's very clairvoyant and she's psychic, right? And I feel like but she's very sensitive too. Like Clara's very sensitive in the book, and I feel like that's a character. Like, I don't know, like this person A comes out like, cause those are two characters that I just talked about. Like two characters, Glinda and then Clara from the book. I don't know, this person seems very like movie like, or like, so like person A comes off very movie like, or television, or they could be famous. I mean, I don't know, but or they could just be popular, no pun intended, right? Of like people might know them a lot, or people just notice them a lot. Like they could just get a lot of attention without even realizing it, or they can literally be like famous, or like they just, you know, they're just famous, or people just know about them a lot. And I feel like person A is also very like, they're a very sweet person. They come off very sweet and very like kind, and like not trying to manipulate anybody or anything in their life, if that makes sense. And I feel like this clairvoyant, or like this psychic energy that this person person A has, is a curse and a blessing, because I feel like they don't even try, but they get so many, like their intuition never fails them, but also I feel like sometimes they get hurt with the intuition that they have. And I feel like it's nothing that they ask for. Like it's not something that they ask for, but it just kind of happens. And I think they're trying to create a healthy relationship with their intuition. And I think that's a very sweet way to think about it, right? But they're very sweet and like very like they have a lot of sympathy for people and empathy. And I think, I don't know, I just think it's very sweet. I think this Nectar Owl person is a very sweet person. They've probably been hurt in the past, and that's why they become kind to people, because I think they see it as like, you never know what people are going through. You know, you can't just be rude or mean to people. You don't know what they're going through. And sometimes smiling at somebody or saying hi to somebody. But overall, I think this owl person is very sweet and kind, because I think they understand that everybody has their own story, and I feel like person A, or like this owl person, is not quick to judge people right away, you know. And I think this is a very sweet energy. Now, going to person B, or this Val Zebra person, I feel like they are attracting each other because they're sort of the same, like they have the same mindset, if that makes sense. Because like I said before, the owl and zebra are like looking forward, right? And these two cards have hands in the cards as well. So I feel like the zebra and owl person are very similar in that way, that I think they both understand that that's why if you are like, oh, I feel like I'm the owl and nectar, I feel like you could also relate to the zebra and Val, because I feel like you both are very similar to each other without even realizing it. I think you both view the world the same, if that makes sense. And I think this Val zebra person is very like, it's very similar to the owl person in a way that I think they don't judge right away, or they try not to judge right away, right? Because we're only human, but they try not to judge right away, or they try to understand people's perspectives. And I think the only thing that the zebra has that's very prominent here is that I think they're very, very committed to everything that they do. I'm not saying that the owl isn't, it's just I feel like it's very prominent in the zebra that they're just very committed, and they're very committed. It could be they're very committed to the owl, or they're just very committed in general. And I think the Val and the Val zebra person, that's something that I think they admire about themselves. I think this commitment that they have within themselves, or this devotion that they have within themselves, because they're devoted to themselves, but they're also devoted to everything that they're passionate about. I think they really honor that part of themselves, and they care about that part of themselves a lot. And I think it's something that maybe not a lot of people do naturally. Like maybe a lot of people are scared of commitment, or they're scared to commit to situations in life, or they're scared to show that they're devoted to someone, to something, to situations in life. But the zebra isn't afraid to do that, or they're not afraid to show that they care about a certain someone, or a certain situation, or a certain thing. The zebra is not afraid to show that, because I think the zebra understands that it's important to care, especially in the world that we live in, right? It's important to care. And I think that's why the owl and the zebra could connect very like sweet. Like again, this doesn't have to be like, for a lot of you, I don't think this is romantic. This could literally be a friend, right? This could be somebody like a friend or something, and maybe I don't know, maybe it's a new friend. It could be a new friend or a new person in your life that you two are just connected in a very beautiful way, because I feel like you both see the world very similarly. And I think that's a very sweet way to create a friendship, or create a connection with somebody, or romantic relationship. It really doesn't matter. But I think this Val zebra person is very just they always honor themselves, even if sometimes situations don't go their way. I think they keep telling themselves like, at least I cared, like at least I showed that I cared, or at least I was devoted to this, right? And I think they're not afraid to express that, and to be devoted, to be caring, to care, to love, to devote themselves into situations that they care about. And when it comes to the energy between you two, the zebra and the owl person, or the nectar owl Val zebra person, this sacred place is very much like self-explanatory in my opinion, but I feel like you both feel safe with each other. You both feel safe to share your emotions, to share how you feel about each other. You're both like, you feel safe with each other. And I think that is just such a beautiful connection to have with somebody, because you feel safe, and you feel safe to be yourselves. You feel safe to cry. You feel safe to be happy, and not being judged. I feel like you both don't judge each other, and I think that's, I don't know, it's just very beautiful connection, very beautiful friendship or relationship. That this is it, right? that this is a very beautiful relationship, because I feel like you both can like you both understand each other. Like you understand each other, right? Like there's this like understanding, this underlying understanding here that you don't get with everybody that you meet. And for some reason it happened between you two, right? And sometimes you don't have to ask why this. Sometimes you just have to exist in it, right? You don't have to ask the why. Sometimes you can just exist in it and enjoy these moments. And I think the energy between you two is also just very, I think you protect this connection. I think you both protect this connection in a very beautiful way. I think you both care about this connection, this friendship, this relationship. I think you both care about it. And because you both care about it, I think it's a very beautiful way you both express how you care about it. And I think you both know that this is important to both. Like, I think the owl knows that it's important to the zebra, and the zebra knows that it's important to the owl. It's very mutual, it's very reciprocated, and it's very just mutual energy of caring and loving and wanting to be near each other and wanting to take care of each other, wanting to not judge each other and listen to each other. A very, very like compassionate type of love, and caring love for sure. So yeah, let's get into tarot about what's the potential of this connection, because right now it seems very like sweet, and I feel like there's a lot of potential for this connection. Let's see. Before I keep talking, you never know what could come up. But okay. What's the potential of this connection? Okay. We have the 7 of lanterns, the 7 of wands. The Queen of Flags, or the Queen of Swords. Justice. Yeah, very mutual energy here. Very, very mutual. Okay. And last, we have the Bruja, or the Witch, I think. I think this is the High Priestess. I could be wrong. And at the bottom, we have the Sibling of Flags. This is the Knight of Pentacles. I mean, the Knight of, I was reading the plans. The Knight of Swords. And then we have, what is this? Let me see. Wait. I think it's the High Priestess. I could be wrong. No, I don't know. Oh no, it's the Magician. It's the Magician. My bad. That's on me. Yeah, it's the Magician. Okay, so we have the 7 of Wands, the Queen of Swords, Justice, and the Magician. Okay. I think I was reading this card as as the High Priestess this whole time. Okay. But now I know. Okay. What is the potential of this connection? I think if you both are, how do I say this? Like, if you both are staying in this pace of caring about each other, wanting to be near each other, wanting to be together, wanting to spend time together, talk to each other, get to know each other again, get to know each other in general, or just creating this like beautiful connection with each other, friendship, relationship, all types of relationship, compassionate love, right? Creating this, I think, could have so much potential in the future. It's just, I think with the Seven of Wands here, it's just, I think there's moments that might be difficult to deal with. I think I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't know what this is about. I kind of want to clarify the Seven of Wands, because I have an idea, but I don't know if I just want to know more information of this Seven of Wands. What about the Queen of Swords? The Fool. Yeah, okay. I feel like this connection has a lot of potential. Of course I do. Like, it has a lot of positive potential and a lot of like long-lasting potential for sure. And especially if you keep going in the same pace that you both are. There's no need to rush anything, right? There's no need to rush anything, because I feel like the Seven of Lanterns and the Two of Lanterns, I think it's like reminding you and reminding this person that there's no need to rush anything. You know, there's no need to rush anything. There's no need to force anything, because I think the connection you both are creating is perfect the way it is right now. You know, there's no need to change what it is. Like, if it's not, like, what's that saying? If it's not broken, don't fix it. It's very much that. I think there's nothing bad, like, just because nothing's bad is happening, or nothing that is like making you overthink, just because this is good doesn't mean it's going to get bad, if that makes sense. Believe it or not, the best type of relationships are the ones that start very good, because they stay good, right? Relationships that start good stay good, but relationships that start bad end up getting worse, right? So I think because this relationship started so good and so well, I think it's showing both of you that this is good. Like, this is a good connection. I think there's parts of you that might be very scared of this connection, or very scared of losing this connection with this person, or not, like, maybe thinking that it's all in your head, or like, is it bad that I care so much about this person? Is it bad that I care so much about this connection? Is it bad that I don't want this connection to end? You know, none of those thoughts are bad. Like, none of those thoughts are negative. It's just sometimes your mind gets the best of you, or gets the best of both of you, and you can't control that. You know, sometimes you just have to let it be, and like, maybe listen to your thoughts, but don't believe your thoughts. You know what I mean? You can listen to your thoughts, you can try to understand your thoughts, but you don't have to believe them, right? Sometimes it's okay to just be in the moment, right? And I think this is the type of connection that you deserve, to be in the moment and enjoy the moment with this person, because I think the potential is very, very highly likely that it's going to be long term, or it can be long term, right? Depending how long you know this person. For a lot of you, I do feel like this is somebody newer. You don't have to be, but I feel like it is. And I think the energy here is very much like, you know, trust that this is okay. Trust that you deserve this type of connection. This trust that you deserve this type of compassion, love. You know, this compassionate love, and this very safe energy. You know, because I think you both are just naturally like manifesting a good future in this connection, and because I think it's reciprocated, and I think you both are. That's what, again, going back to, like, I feel like you and Zebra and Owl person, like, you both are very similar in that way, that I think whenever you overthink about this connection, they overthink the situation too sometimes. Like, sometimes I feel like the Zebra and Owl have like these mindsets of like, what if this ends, or what if this is too good to be true, or like, you know, like, I think you both share those thoughts, and because of that, I think there's this understanding of, I'm not going anywhere. You know, like, I think the owl and the zebra person are very much like, I'm not going anywhere. And it's like, they just have to believe that the other person's not leaving either. You know what I mean? Like, they have to believe that the other person's not leaving either. And I think you both are in this mindset of, okay, we feel the same. I feel like this person really likes me too. Like, they like being around me. It's just sometimes I fear, you know, and that's okay. That's normal. I feel like as humans, that's a very normal response when it comes to something good, to be kind of scared of letting it go. I would say that it's very healthy to want to be around someone that you really like and you really enjoy their company, you know. I think it's healthy to want to be around them, you know. Maybe it's not as healthy to be around them 24/7, but I do think it's healthy to want to be around them, to want to get to know them, to want to be there with them. So yeah, let's get some, before we leave, before we end this, let's get some advice from the wisdom of the oracle. Let's get some advice for you. One more shuffle. Okay. Okay. At the bottom, we have by the book. Yeah, number 11. And then we have number 21, clean it up. Okay, yeah, so right away with the by the book, let's start with the bottom. Girl. And look, 20, 11, 41, and 21. So a lot of ones are here. And then 2, 4. So this is a very important. 51. Girl, milk and honey. Girl, like, this is literally saying everything that it needs to be said, you know. Soulmates by the book, clean it up. But by the book, I feel like this is telling you to don't have expectations on this connection. It's not great for you or this connection or this person to have expectations, because I feel like once you have expectations, that's when it becomes very like difficult to exist in a connection that feels good, you know. And I think you deserve to feel good in a connection. You deserve to feel great, and you deserve to feel like human, like a human in a connection. And I think this connection is showing you how human you can be and how vulnerable you can be with no judgment, you know. And with this clean it up card, I feel like even if like things get messy or things get confusing, there's always going to be potential to fix that, or there's always going to be potential to make it great, if that makes sense. Like, it's there's always going to be potential to like make a situation better, if that makes sense. Like, even if you do overthink something, or even if you do say something that's like, or like believe something that's not true, but you overthink it, it might take time, but I think there's always going to be potential to clean it up, if that makes sense, right? To clean it up, or to kind of soothe in yourself and realize that it's just your mind overthinking, you know. So yeah, and with the soulmates, I think that's very self-explanatory. I feel like you both could be soulmates, or you could be creating a soulmate type of relationship, right? So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave that there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this resonated. If it didn't, let me know. But if it did, let me know. Just be nice to me, please. I'm sensitive. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next, hopefully. Bye.